Hey guys, how is that challenge going? Hopefully you're on challenge 3 with me today, because challenge 1 and 2 were last week and the week before. Challenge 3. Now you are going to choose the tone for your adventure. And tone is so useful. I cannot stress this enough. If it's comedy, if it's dramatic, if it's tragic, if it's dark, if it's adventure, if it's heroic, all of these descriptor words help us start to shape our minds and focus us onto specifics. So if we take last week's example of the devil sacrificing souls into this obliteration volcano, how does that translate? Look at the tone. Comedic. The devils find this a jocular, celebratory moment. They're laughing and some get bumped into the volcano themselves and get obliterated. Oh, what's so fun? Look at stupid old Mephistopheles who's fallen and tripped in on a banana peel that I brought in specifically. You know, is it comedic? Is it dark? So the soul gets obliterated and all of history forgets their name. And that person who's about to be obliterated has a solution to solve some major crisis in the world. Is it heroic, where the PCs might have to swoop in at the last moment and save the last soul before it gets thrown in, bringing about the end of the apocalypse? Do you see how the tone shifts the type of adventure that we have? Now, of course, those tones could be combined together. The devils could be having a marvelous time, an absolute wonderful time, laughing and singing and bumping each other into the volcano and all that kind of stuff, whilst at the same time erasing these souls from history for all eternity. And the heroes could have to save one particular soul in the nick of time to prevent the apocalypse. But I could only come up with that sort of idea of this big event thing by looking at it step by step by step, tone by tone by tone, and then combining them together. Now, obviously, if your tone is in opposition to the TTRPG that you're going to be using, why? Why would it be such? Anyway, think about that. Once you've got your tone and you've got a sort of a smattering idea of what could or couldn't be going on, don't panic. We don't have to think about the adventure just yet. What you now need to do is look at that location, look at the events that are going on, and ask yourself what would happen if one of these things was missing, was stolen, was just not occurring. What would happen if this was the case? And I'm going to share with you a little anecdote. I was living in Japan when the emperor abdicated. They had to change all kinds of rules and things to allow the emperor to abdicate, and his son was supposed to take over. In the imperial palace of Japan, the son who has now ascended to the throne, who has now become an emperor, has to give a speech. But according to all of those who lived in Japan, if it snowed on Mount Fuji, it was a good omen. If it didn't snow, it was a bad omen for the entire country, for the entire reign of the new emperor. I mean, no pressure, right? On the day of the speech, we were all glued to the television, watching, waiting, and the coverage was cutting to the emperor standing at the podium, cutting to a shot of Mount Fuji, back to the emperor, back to Fuji, back to the emperor, back to Fuji. Why? Because there was no snow on Fuji. It was not snowing on Fuji. Emperor standing there, looking very dignified, taking over from a beloved emperor who had to abdicate because he was so old. Back to Fuji, back to the emperor, back to Fuji, back to the emperor. Tension, sweat on everybody, the entire country holding its breath. The emperor has to make his speech. He steps up to the podium. Fuji, no snow. The emperor takes a sip of water. Fuji, no snow. The emperor looks down at his notes. It starts snowing on Fuji. The emperor delivers his speech. Japan is in happy space. The whole country was like, part of me believes that there was a weatherman standing on Mount Fuji with a bucket of ice and throwing it up into the air going, it's snowing, this counts, I swear. What would have happened if it hadn't snowed? The whole country would have felt that there was this dark omen presiding over them. The entire reign of this young emperor who took over, I say young, he's not young, of this emperor who took over, would have been clouded by this one singular event. Think about what would happen in your location, in your RPG, if something didn't happen, or if something happened to disrupt the thing, or if it was stolen, or if it was missing. Look at some point of contention, some point of drama. I know, we're trying to avoid drama, but this is role-playing and this is adventure creation. We need drama. So find the drama, think about what could be or could be not missing, and we'll take it and use it in challenge number 4. Don't know why I'm speaking like this. Anyway, we'll use it in challenge number 4. So until next week, I wish you and yours the happiest of challenge answering.